Jakarta, Indonesia. Tunggul Pastri says she'll never forget being groped on a public bus while traveling to her high school in Jakarta, the Indonesian capital, when she was 14. While Ms. Tunggul had become used to enduring daily harassment on her way to and from classes, mostly catcalls and sexually suggestive looks and comments, when a man suddenly began gyrating against her from behind, she said, "I froze. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even know that I should have screamed," said Ms. Tunggul, who now works for a women's organization. 2 decades after that disturbing episode, a growing number of activist groups and volunteers like Ms. Tunggul are emerging to explain exactly what to do, expose the long-standing problem of harassment on roads, sidewalks, trains, and buses across Indonesia, the world's 4th most populous nation. It's an epidemic, and, unfortunately, at the moment, Indonesia has no legal protection for sexual harassment, said Yuni Ianti Huzaifa, vice chairwoman of the National Commission on Violence Against Women, who said she was once groped after falling asleep on a public bus. "Women have to be brave to report it, and the police services here are not friendly toward victims," she said. "There's a lot of victim blaming, like it is their own fault." According to the Women's Commission, only 268 street harassment reports were filed last year with the police, non-governmental organizations, or the Commission itself across a nation of more than 260 million people. By comparison, more than 200 women in the Jakarta region alone posted accounts in the past 12 months, both under their name and anonymously, of harassment or groping on the streets or on public transportation to the Indonesia website of Halaback, an international initiative against street harassment. "I feel street harassment has been normalized within our society," said Ananda Restuviani, coordinator of Feminist Festival Indonesia, which organizes events on women's issues, including harassment. Activists in Indonesia estimate that millions of street harassment incidents go unreported each year. "We are sure this is just the tip of the iceberg," said Angie Kilban, an American high school teacher in Jakarta and leader of Halaback's Jakarta chapter, referring to the hundreds of posts on the site. The Indonesian National Police did not reply to multiple requests for official data on street harassment cases. To discourage sex abuse in public places, the authorities have set aside women-only cars on packed commuter trains and spaces designated for females on public buses, but activists say much more needs to be done by the government and society. Ms. Kilban, who has lived in Indonesia for nearly 10 years, said she got involved in combating harassment after a motorcyclist drove up beside her while she was bicycling, grabbed her right breast and said, "Hey, baby," in Indonesian before roaring off. Ms. Kilban's chapter organizes discussions and workshops on sexual harassment, and conducts training in self-defense and bystander intervention. "Still," she said, "I don't ride my bike to work anymore.